It must be that day. You got it. It's Thursday. It's 4 o'clock. It's time for the Big Sports Lowdown with Big Row, and I'm that guy. No, not the Cookie Monster, but close enough. Cookie, cake, pie, ice cream. Trying to stay away from it and be a good boy, but man, sometimes it's just hard. Well, welcome to the show. All kinds of craziness going on in the sports world. If you're a NASCAR fan, you definitely want to keep your eyes peeled to the screen today because we got this legendary Northwest guy. I should say guy because he kind of still sounds like he's from the South. We got Stock Car Scott coming in to talk NASCAR. And we haven't done a whole lot of NASCAR on the show. And I feel bad about that because there's a lot of really cool local legends around here that race and race. They put the pedal to the metal and they go hard. Definitely. So, we got Stock Car Scott coming up. Hoping for a phone call from O'Day High School. Well, I don't even know. I mean, Garfield High School, O'Day High School. How do you go to one school and play lacrosse for another? We're going to find out about 4:15, hopefully, when Drew Snyder of the Washington Stealth calls in the show. So, we got a little bit going on today, but first things first. Happy birthday to you, you old fart. Happy birthday to you, you old guy, you. Happy birthday, dear Mark A. Miller. Happy birthday to you. Do I do this now?
Sure.
Don't spit on the cupcakes.
Ooh.
There's that.
Rock on.
Okay, this is a 0, but it's actually an O because why, Gene?
You're old.
You're
Ooh,
old,
I am.
you old
It's
fart.
scary.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
You got it, man. You thought I forgot, huh?
No, I thought you'd do something. I had a feeling.
Did you have a feeling?
I was dreading it the whole time. I'm just sitting here like, oh
We
god.
were going to get a
As soon
stripper
as
to
it
come in,
started,
man, but I thought, you know what?
I'll take my
Julie wouldn't be.
Julie
too
would kick my
She wouldn't be
butt.
too liking that. Yeah. She would not be liking that too much.
Julie, don't worry. I wasn't really going to get a stripper. Honest, I swear to God. Whew. So, what's going on?
Big week, you know. Sonic's deal. I mean, KJ found his whales.
You seem kind of tired today, kind of.
It's one of those.
It was late
days.
night.
Yeah,
That's
late
what you
night.
said
yeah,
earlier.
One of those kind of deals.
Late
so.
night this way?
Late
night baby?
Late night hanging out with the baby. Yeah.
All right. How's the baby
Early.
doing?
She's doing good.
Getting old?
Getting old, just like her dad. Dude, you know, this is one of those birthdays that you kind of go, oh God, I'm closer to 40 now than I am 30, and that scares me in a lot of ways.
I don't know why. You're as young as you think you are, or
True.
you feel you are.
True, but I feel old sometimes, man. That's how it is.
Let me see here. Oh, you do feel old.
I do feel old.
Wow.
Getting near expiration date. Closer every
hope
day.
not,
We all
man.
are. We all are.
We
Everybody
just hooked
is.
up a few months ago, and it's just like, man, don't want to lose my co-host yet.
I'll be around for a long while. Well,
Well,
many,
that's
many,
good.
many seasons of shows.
Amen for that.
True that.
Amen for that. The Washington Stealth got back onto things this weekend. I'm pretty stoked about that.
That is a
They're
nice
back
one.
up there, tied for first place with Calgary. I had to miss that game, though.
You did.
Yeah, match, game. I don't know if we call it match or game. It's hockey with balls.
That's true. It
It's
is
such a
hockey
cool
with
sport,
balls.
man. I missed I think that was my second game I've ever missed since the Stealth has been
Wow.
here. And I had to miss it because I had the ring announcing gig. Man,
How was that?
dude, it was awesome. You know, I never thought I'd be Joe Ring announcer.
Was Shelton rocking that night?
It was really, really fun. It was a great time. I had my own little fan club. Every time I'd go in the ring or out of the ring, they're big low, big low, big low. These guys were awesome. They're a bunch of
awesome.
Sheltonites, you know. I think that's what you call them.
Sheltonians.
Sheltonians. I like that one. Maybe that's what I'll run by them. Great crowd. The venue's really nice. I love Emerald Queen Casino, but this venue, it's just, you know, it's more intimate, and the
Oh,
way
yeah.
the seating is, it's just very, very nice. Little Creek Casino, it's called Skookum Creek Event Center. God, it was so much fun. You know, I mean, from the very beginning, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Skookum Creek Event Center. And it was just like, wow, man, I did it. You know,
You were the new Michael Buffer.
Boy,
Only better.
I
Only better.
had Mickey. He's the timekeeper. He rings the bell. old dude. He's been around. He's done it in Vegas. He's done it worldwide. I mean, he's been in Manila. He's been all over the place, and he's got some really cool stories. I would love to get that guy on the show.
Why is it everybody like that works the corner in boxing or fighting is called Mickey? You just think of that old guy Rocky.
Ah, Mick. Hey, Rock, come on, Rock. But no, Mickey, he heard my tagline.
Yeah.
You know, I got a pretty cool tagline, so I'm copywriting this sucker. I say, let's lace him up and face him up. And it's pretty original.
That's a good
one.
one.
And Mickey said in all the years, he said he's never heard anybody use anything like that. He says, you better copyright that starting Monday. And I was like, wow. So got the paperwork all done, ready to go, man. It's, God, it was some good fighting. Vincent Thompson, we're going to have him on the show next weekend. He's now 13-0.
Nice.
Washington's premier, I don't know if you call him premier anymore. I'd just say Washington's best heavyweight fighter.
That's a good way to
He's
describe
13-0 with 2 knockouts. Somehow, some way, he always finesses his way to the victory. And this was one of those fights where he just was battling and battling and battling. The first round, I thought he was going to knock this dude out. He fought against Giovanni Bam Bam Saran. And Giovanni's a fighter out of California. And, you know, this guy, at first, I mean, you're looking at the matchup and you're thinking, Jesus, Vincent's huge. And this dude's like, not so huge. A big guy, but not, I mean, Vincent's a big boy. Vincent Thompson, vicious Vincent Thompson. Man, oh man. He's just, some of those punches he threw, and Giovanni took him. I'm just going, no way, dude. How did you take that pop? I mean, phew.
Some of these guys, you just wonder how they, I mean, you see some people in fights on the street even, and it's like one punch, dude's down. And these guys are taking like that punch 100 times over in a row, and they're just standing up there, and you're like, what is your head made of, dude?
It was crazy. Hey, we may have to go to the phone right now because the phone is a-ringing, and I'm not quite sure who's on the other line. Hello?
Hey, this is Drew Snyder.
Drew Snyder, the legend of O'Day High School and Garfield High School?
Yes, it is. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. The soon-to-be legend of the Washington Stealth. I can't wait to see you play, man.
Thank you.
Hey, so we just gonna kind of throw you on the show because we're live. So what the heck, man? Let's just do what we got to do, huh?
Let's go for it.
All right, Drew. So what's it like? I got to know this one because I mean I'm still kind of at odds with this. You went to O'Day High School, but you played for Garfield High School.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, so, I mean, it's difficult for me to make that decision, but it's easy at the same time because O'Day didn't have lacrosse. And when I got there, my dad and I both kind of went up to the AD and was like, please let us start a program. It ended up not happening, so we went over to Garfield and did 4 years there, and it's kind of ironic now that O'Day is trying to start a program this year, and ended up not happening, unfortunately, but it's weird how that happens.
That's kind of a weird deal, especially being an alum, you know, so you kind of wonder, well, which way do I waver? I mean, do I like these guys or do I like these guys?
Exactly.
So, going to Maryland, you were a long ways from home. What was that experience like?
Well, I loved every second of it. Tell you the truth, the first couple months were a little difficult, just adjusting being away from far from home and not having my mom do my laundry and making me some food every once in a while. So it took a little bit of getting used to, but you know that was a great program I stepped into. The team was very supportive and opening, and it's just a good location. It's 20 minutes away from DC, 30 minutes away from Baltimore. It was I loved every moment that I was there.
Did you get to do some sightseeing out there?
I did.
Nice.
It's just a good area all around. Annapolis is beautiful. I don't know if you've been around that area.
Never been there.
Annapolis. It's you said you never been there?
Never been there, man.
You should try to get out. Get a chance. I'm sure you'd love it.
Well, my co-host is Mark Miller, and I know he's itching to ask you a couple questions, so I'm going to throw him at you right now.
Okay.
Hey, Drew, Mark here. What made you go to Maryland, considering your dad was an All-American at Virginia?
Yeah, that was a little tough, but to tell you the truth, I didn't really get recruited heavy at Virginia. They kind of were pretty upfront with me. They said that there's a couple midfielders that they were looking at, and if they commit, then they can't take me. If they didn't commit, then they could take me. And I was like, you know what? If you don't want me that bad, I'm taking my talent somewhere else. And sure enough, it was another rival ACC school, and I wasn't really basing my decision off my dad. I kind of know that he kind of had his legacy there, and I didn't really want to,
You wanted to do your own thing.
I wanted to do my own thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good deal.
What's it like out there on the East Coast, like the lacrosse scene? I mean, I mean, ACC lacrosse to a lot of people is like Pac-10 football. I mean, Syracuse, Big East lacrosse, all the like big schools out there, but it hasn't really taken off out here. What's it? I mean, what's it like there? What's the atmosphere? I mean, how pumped are people, and what are the attendance figures and whatnot?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just really, it's growing out here, and it's growing still over there. But just the sheer numbers that are playing at the youth level over there is just ridiculous, And people just seem to be more aware of it. And it helps that all the schools that are playing it are over there on the east. They can, fans can go see a couple games, whereas, people in Washington don't really get a chance to go to Division I game unless they come out here like they did this fall for the C-Town Classic with Maryland and Denver, which is awesome. We just slowly need to get more and more D1 programs to the West, and eventually the West Coast will be just as good as the East Coast. What's
your favorite style, box or like outdoor lacrosse?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm debating with myself on that right now. They're both really fun. They're extremely different. They're both, I don't know. And I'm trying to still figure out if I like the pro league more than the college league, field-wise. I do like the shot clock that both the NLL and the MLL have. Mm-hmm. It kind of pushes the game a little bit more. And you feel like you got to kind of make a play, and it's a little more high scoring. You're not, thinking too much. You're just kind of going out and playing, not scared to make a mistake. And I don't know. I can't tell you right now between box and field. They're both. I've had good experiences on both of those types of styles of play.
Well, you were named one of the finalists this year for the Seattle Sports Star of the Year in the amateur division. I voted heavily for you and had several friends voting for you, and was really ticked off that you didn't get that. But it's got to be quite an honor to be, your first year coming out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your votes, by the way. But I kind of knew deep down there was a fat chance that I was going to win. I wasn't really expecting to. The guy that won my category was a 3-time gold medalist and swam next to Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew that I was a little out of his league. And I mean, honestly, though, I just look at it as a personal win, but also as a bigger win in general for just lacrosse. The fact that lacrosse players up for award among those, football players, baseball players, basketball players. It's a win.
You were in great company that night, that's for sure. I mean, there was a lot of amazing athletes that night, so
yeah,
it was a lot of fun to be at that event and be part of it. So, coaching. Let's talk a little coaching now. You're the head coach of Nathan Hale. That's pretty awesome, man. What's that like? I mean, you're just a young guy, man.
Yes, I am a young guy, but I have had some good coaching along the way, and I've definitely taken some things from them. I've picked some stuff up, and I've been coaching for probably around 10 summers. so 10 years of kind of camp and clinic experience, and this is my first, I'm officially the head coach, so this is my first high school experience, and I got the pleasure to work with Seattle Stars and West Coast Stars over the years, and I've kind of gotten to work with some of my players and just working with high school players. And, you know, I'm teaching them a lot, and they're teaching me a lot. So it's I got a good coaching staff as well. My dad, Chris Nyers, helping me out. Guy who just moved out here from Maryland, who played at Loyola Blakefield, which is one of the top MIA schools over there.
Nice.
We also got John O'Neill, who played at Cornell, won a championship back in the 70s, kind of coming in and out, not really officially a coach, but he's also helping us out a little bit. So it's not just me coaching, it's a combined effort, and hopefully we can get our boys, our Nathan Hale boys, to the championship this year.
Heck yeah. So who are some of the standouts on your team?
Well, my younger brother actually is a junior there. He was a leading scorer last year, so he's returning. We got a good core of middies. Tommy, Jack Mack, and Riley. They're all young juniors and two sophomores. They had a really good freshman season, and we got another attackman, and our defense is young but very athletic. So we got a good core of returners. Our team is very young, though. I think we got 13 freshmen, and then I think around 10 sophomores.
Wow.
And the rest are juniors and seniors. So we only have like 35 kids on the team. So it's very heavy underclassmen. So there's a bright future for these Nathan Hale team.
Nice. You mentioned the guy that's helping you coach that came out. I mean, he graduated like in the 70s.
Yeah.
So
he's the same age as my dad. Yep.
So your dad's 29, right?
Yeah.
So you know, it's just weird to think that in the 70s on the East Coast, lacrosse was probably just, you know, almost as big as it is nowadays. But how do you think it's grown in the west side of the country? I mean, it's a great sport. I love the indoor game. It's phenomenal. And just watching some of the high school games that I've gone to the last couple years and the outdoor, the big game, so to speak, it's amazing to me. And I can't believe people don't get on board more. So how do you feel it's grown?
Yeah, well, you're right. I'm surprised people haven't really caught on to it because, you know, it's kind of got that finesse of, let's say, soccer and the physicality of a football or hockey, you know. But the thing is that people just don't really know about it. They don't really know the rules. But once they discover it, people really start to enjoy it, and they get the bug, I like to say. It slowly but surely it will become a bigger sport, but I think it really comes down to the generations that play, the youth now and the high schoolers now that go on to the next level or whatnot, come back and give back to the community to help grow it as a whole.
Nice.
It helps, you know, definitely helps with a team like the Stealth out here because their players can give to local programs, and we're seeing that on a youth level with like Kyle Sorensen, who's the captain for the Stealth. He's doing a bunch of youth practices around the Seattle area, and other coaches are helping out at programs like Lake Washington and Skyline, and also Eastside Catholic. So slowly but surely we're getting better coaches out here, and that will allow the whole community to grow as a whole.
Right. Well, what's it like playing for a guy like Coach Chris Hall? I mean, the guy's big. He's got to be intimidating, and you know, I often wonder, do some of you guys cower underneath his yelling and stuff? I mean, it makes you wonder.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he definitely is intimidating at times, but he does what he has to do. You know, head coach is a position where you got to lay down the law at times, and you got to work things out with the players. accordingly, depending on the situation. I think he's done a good job this season adjusting to ups and downs. And look at us now. You know, we're first in the West. So he's been very respectful to me. I haven't actually played for him yet. I've practiced for him. But my experience with him has been, and the whole coaching staff in general has been pretty awesome. So I can't complain.
Will we see you in a stealth uniform before the end of the year? I mean, I got the pleasure of seeing you play last Thursday, but we want to see you play, man.
Yeah, and I want to see myself play too. I'm still kind of nursing. I had an ankle injury earlier up in Langley for, I think it was the third week or fourth week of training camp. I'm still nursing it a little bit, and I'm still learning the game. To tell you the truth, it's very different from the field game, and not many Americans can come in and pick it up real quick. So I'm still learning. I'm just glad I'm still around for practices. I'm picking up a lot of things, and it's good because I can kind of take the field stuff and translate that, or the box stuff and translate that to the field stuff. So hopefully down the road, maybe this year, hopefully next year, I'll be playing in the stealth uniform.
Well, I know one of our big fans up there, Darcy Becker. I know she wants to see you playing because she's always seems to be looking at your legs. So it's like, But so I want to know, are you going to put one through the net like you did when you were with the Terps?
I don't know.
That was awesome,
I
man.
don't know.
We're going to show that clip when we get done with you because that clip is impressive. I've seen a lot of shots in lacrosse, and man, that was a ripper.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my highlights. I was bragging that for a while after that one.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that was cool. I'll never forget that. But I'll try. The goal is a little smaller, though. I must say. The nets are still the same millimeter stick. So hopefully, if I get a good shot, get my feet set, you never know.
Well, I tell you, Drew, I know you got to get to practice with the kids. Mark, you got anything else?
Where do you see the game in 10 years here in high school? Is it going to be at every high school, or is it just going to be still kind of selected?
Yeah, well, hopefully in 10 years it'll be at every high school. You got to work on getting it sanctioned by the WIAA. And, I don't think we're too far off from that, but there's definitely still work to be done on that front. And hopefully, yeah, it will be at every high school in 10 years. I'll say it will be, just to think positively.
I trust you, man.
We trust you.
Oh, man, Drew, you're an amazing young man. I hope you come over and say hey to me in the penalty box on Sunday because, I've been really looking forward to meet you, but I don't like bugging you guys, man. So come and say hi on Sunday.
You can come up anytime. Come up and bug me anytime, man. I'll probably bug you, too.
You can bug me all you want, pal.
Good. I'll see you this weekend.
Well, I really appreciate your time, man. Thanks for taking the time to be on the Big Sports Lowdown with us, and we will definitely talk soon, my friend.
Yes, we will.
All right, Drew, thanks.
Good.
Thanks, Drew.
Good luck this season.
All right, bye.
Bye. So there you have it, Drew Snyder. The kid's impressive. Very, very impressive. Just watching his style of play. He's fast on his feet, very, very agile. And some of those diving shots that he does, man, oh man, he did this little dive across, flipped it behind the back and in. I mean, the dude has got talent. And there's guys out there in the lacrosse league, Paul Rabel, very stylistic. I mean, these guys, you wonder how the heck they can freaking be diving through the air and flip the dang. How do you do this?
Skills.
Oh boy, I'll say practice.
Oh, yeah.
Allen Iverson, practice.
Exactly. The closest thing to hockey I've ever seen is lacrosse, man. It's
Yep.
pretty damn cool to watch.
Well, let's take a little break real quick and let Zan run that footage of that wicked shot that he did. I mean, this is pretty impressive, and we'll talk for about another 5 or 7 minutes, and then we'll bring on old Stock Car Scott and talk a little NASCAR after we talk some Mariners, some Supersonics, and more.
Yeah.
So check this video out.
like to get their bodies on each other and really play a physical brand of lacrosse. So you're going to see potentially a lot of penalties, but also a lot of players in the deck.
Here's the first shot for Maryland, and it's good. The Terrapins score on their first shot of the day, and it's 1-0 Maryland.
And that's pretty offense for Maryland right there. Drew Schneider from Seattle, Washington. Again, I actually grew up going out to camps there and coaching for his dad, a UVA grade lacrosse player, Chris Snyder. Right here, it's a simple two-man game up top. We'll play off each other. Chris Snyder backs out. Drew Snyder backs up his backside, gets his hand flicked, with a perfect shot off him.
Snyder, a junior midi, third goal of the year early on here for Snyder, so his campaign's off to a very hot start. Only the second game for Maryland Terrapins. Welcome to our coverage show. We have a little delay as we wait for the netting to be repaired. We should be underway shortly, and here's there's the hole you can see in that netting. It tells you how good a shot it was from Snyder as he scored that opening goal for Maryland. He put a hole right in the netting there, and we've got a few minutes here to wait for it to get fixed.
Talk about perfect placement. That is right where it should be on the off hip. And any shots that were leaving the net couldn't stop it. So Drew Snyder stepping in as a junior here. Just a blistering shot by Davis in the cage to get Maryland on the board early.
That's something Snyder will be able to brag about in the locker room afterwards. He caused a delay with this shot. There you see it again. Perfect placement, and Jack Davis not much of a chance to make a...
We're back in action. The Big Sports Lowdown. That little clip there was pretty impressive. And it was also brought to you by Bleachers Pub up in Greenwood. Bleachers Pub has some incredibly cold beer. Go up there, say, hey, Shane. He's the boss up there. Say, hey, Shane, Big Low sent me. And I bet you anything, you'll get the coldest drink in town. Maybe he'll buy you a beer. Say, hey, Big Low said buy me a beer. Buy a cheap one. Heck, it's a free beer. But anyhow, getting back to things here. Man, oh man. My buddy John McClain makes the trek down to old Peoria last week. And he got a pretty cool little promo from Mr. Michael Morse. The funny thing is, Michael Morse has been making this big deal about, hey, my name's Michael. It's not Mike anymore, it's Michael. Michael. And all the news guys down there are like, Michael, 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 Michael. But John got him to do a little promo for me. Check this out. This is really funny because he says something other than Michael. He says,
hey, this is Mike Morris. You're watching the Big Sports Lowdown with Big Low.
That doesn't
He
sound
says
like
Mike
Michael.
Morse.
Yeah, that sounds kind of like Mike. to
he
me.
said Mike.
Yeah, he said Mike.
I mean, you know, this is a mic. That's a mic.
Mike.
Step up to the mic.
Exactly.
Mike Tyson. Michael Morse,
Morse.
called himself Mike.
Well,
All the news guys out there are just like freaking right now going, how the heck did Big Low already get him?
yeah,
you know.
we got him early.
And he said
We're
Mike.
First.
I love it.
He said Mike.
John McClain, wherever you are. Oh, you're right there. Thanks, pal. I appreciate it.
John McClane, the guy from Die Hard.
Yeah.
That guy.
Come out to the coast. We'll have a party. Have a few laughs.
Yippee-ki-yo.
No, yippee-ki-yay, Mother
Yippee-ki-yay.
Russia. That's the new one.
Exactly.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Russia. So, Mariners. Everybody says they suck. I know it's just Cactus League play, but they're tearing it up.
Exactly.
They're 6-1 now.
We're going to win our first Cactus League title since '94.
Wouldn't that
Good
be
job,
awesome?
guys.
Wouldn't that be awesome? And
We're
then
the
just
Cactus.
like
We
come
can play
out
the
balls out
Grapefruit
in the
League
first couple
champions,
months.
like in a World Series. Like
World Series.
the Grapefruit and the Cactus League champs can meet like for a
Come
3-game
on
series
now.
in New Orleans.
See,
or
you're like
something.
them other guys saying that they suck, man.
No, they're going to be good this year. They're going to be a good team.
Remember a couple weeks ago I said 90 wins?
85 to 90 wins. That's about where I'm thinking too.
That was my little
They
gutsy call.
They are actually impressing the hell out of me.
I like the fact that they made a few moves. I mean, we brought in some cool talent.
Yes.
Providing these guys can stay healthy.
Mike, not Michael, Morse would be one of them, yes. Then Franklin hit a home run today.
Yes.
Both the Franklins, Nick Franklin and Franklin
Isn't that awesome,
Gutierrez.
man? It's beautiful.
It was a Franklin day.
Gosh, it's nice to see them going deep.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got big, high aspirations and hopes for Justin Smoke, and I hope this is that breakout year that he's been waiting for.
This
because
is it.
the kid's a classy kid. You know, and he's a great guy, and I know great guys aren't great players, you know. Come on, it's time for him to be a great player.
Exactly. This is it. This is put up or shut up, literally. And I think he's going to have a good season.
I think so.
He's not going to be a 300 hitter, but maybe like a 270 with
30 home runs?
25 to 30, around there.
I'll take 30,
around there.
man.
That'll work.
I want a couple of our guys to like pop 25 to 35 home run echelon. That'd be great.
That'd be nice to see. We haven't seen that for a long while, actually.
Zan's in there like shaking his head like he knows anything about baseball. I mean, come on.
Do they have sports in this country?
Oh! Did you hear that one?
They have,
Zan's shaking his
they
head.
have
Gene,
cricket.
Gene just asked, do they have sports in this
they
country?
have rugby and
Zan's
cricket.
Zan's from
and
Australia.
Cow tipping or something like
Polo.
Gene's rolling in the cow tipping stuff.
Oh,
Now, if you guys would have seen that one, you would have been like, whoa. That could have got us some good ratings right
that
there.
could have.
Man, Zan, next time do it on the screen.
Wow.
They have inflatable ones. We should get them one.
I had the wonderful opportunity of marrying Zan and his fiance this weekend.
Really? All
That was
three of
pretty
you guys,
cool.
tied the knot? All three?
Yeah, all three of us.
It's,
Get real, dork. Yeah. My pal. I wish him happy birthday on the show live. And, oh, you're married, and you guys are all married now and
hey,
tied
I
the knot
could
together.
flip it. I could flip it as well as I take it, man. Come
I
on.
found that out 5 years ago.
True. True. I already got Zan though with that comment. He says, "Lo and I got married this weekend." I was like, "Oh, really? It's legal now here, so that's cool."
You're terrible. You're terrible. Terrible.
Not
terrible.
that there's anything wrong with that.
But Zan and Tanya are officially Mr. and Mrs. Zan Dewar.
Congratulations.
What's really
Zan.
cool,
Golf clap.
he married Tanya, and his last name is Dewar. So he can officially do her. Is that legal?
I'm not even gonna go there.
That was good, man. Come on now.
I will leave that alone.
Poor Zan, he's shaking his head. Hey, come on. You were the one with the sheep shagging thing.
His face is red as well.
It is pretty red, isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's not even on the screen.
He's not even on the screen.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
Golly. We got a pretty big studio audience today. I wish y'all could see everybody. Hey, everybody, make some noise in here. Hey. See, we got a big studio audience going on. If you want to be a member of the studio audience on the Big Low Show, just send me an email and say, dude, I want to hang out and watch the show live.
It's only $20.
We had this one guy say he wanted to watch the show dead, but I'm like, whoa, dude, Dr. Kevorkian, we can't have you. So what else is happening in the sports world?
Let's see.
Gonzaga
Bulldogs are
they
number
beat
2.
BYU. Hopefully Duke loses to either Virginia or Miami. Gonzaga Bulldogs could
Unbelievable.
actually be a number one.
team in the country. That would be just unreal.
I think that'd be
little
great.
little Jesuit school from
Yeah.
Spokane, Washington.
I think that
that'd
would
be
be
great.
fantastic,
It would
you
be a
know.
great story.
It's huge for them. Mark Few's an incredible coach.
He
I
is.
love that guy. I mean, he's just got such an incredible demeanor about him. His teaching ethics to the kids. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
his ethics are crazy good. You know, he's always in the running every year.
What I loved about him was I listened to him in the Jim Rome show. It was after that his first tournament team, the year after Monson took him to the Elite Eight. And he made a comment to Jim Rome. They asked, "Why don't you go to a bigger school?" And Mark Few's quote was, "Because I can fish and hunt within 20 minutes of my house, and I like it here in Spokane." Hasn't left yet, and I don't think he ever will leave because
that's
that was the question Rome asked. Like, why wouldn't you want to go to a school that you could win a national championship at? And Few's quote was, "I can win a national championship at Gonzaga."
Yeah, he can. Wouldn't that be something
That
this year?
would be nice. You know what?
It'd be good for the state of Washington.
It would be great.
Let alone them.
It would be great for the little guys because it was always like, hey, when's Few going to leave? When's Few going to leave? If he stayed there his whole career, won a national championship or two, and made them into an elite program without leaving and going to greener pastures, you know,
like Chris
would,
Peterson
it
at
would-
Boise
yes,
State.
It would be a great
Same-
story.
same
It
kind
would be
of
a great
scenario.
story. It would be a win for the Davids of the world, you know.
The Cinderellas
Yes,
of the world,
exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Oh, man, it's beautiful. Gosh, a lot of stuff going on. We got the big Kevin Johnson press conference coming up here in a couple hours. He's going to introduce a couple whales.
Avast ye
Must be
hearties, I
deja vu.
found
You
a
got three
whale.
ugly ones or two ugly ones.
The whales.
Lord, I apologize.
The sad thing about KJ is he just, you know who he reminds me of? Is the guy remember the Iraq War at the beginning? That guy who'd stand in the street, Baghdad Bob, I think was his name. He'd have the microphones and he'd sit there. The American troops are not in Iraq. They are nowhere near Baghdad, but they're rolling around. You see the tanks in the background on the cameras. That's KJ. He comes out here with like, we're not going to lose our team. No, that's not going to happen. The moving trucks are right behind him when he's talking about this. Your team is gone, KJ. Deal with it. They sound like us in 2008.
You
Like,
should get excited like me and say, deal with it!
deal with it! They sound like we did in 2008. Remember when Balmer and Senegal and all them came forward? We're like, oh, we got an arena plan. We're going to save the team. We got guys who are going to buy the team, you know. Well, yeah, did that work out for us? It doesn't work out that way. There's never been a move stopped in sports history. The only time it's even been attempted was 1983, and that was when Al Davis, got the controlling interest
wait
of
a
the
minute.
Raiders because he sued the league.
But you are forgetting something. Bering had the trucks loaded and on their way to Cali. They had to come back.
That is true. That is true.
They had to come back.
That is true. But
So, Seahawks! That's what I'm talking about.
but Bering plays a lot like the Maloofs.
That's true. That's very
Truthfully, the NFL wanted Bering out of the league so bad. They were like, let's just do whatever we can to get them back to Seattle and get him out and get Paul Allen in. Basically, the NBA is doing the same thing. We want to get rid of the McGoofs. We don't care who does it. Just Seattle makes sense because they're a world market. I mean, you're not going to get the Asian Pacific Rim kind of marketing that you would get in Seattle, in Sacramento. I mean, it's a cow town. I mean, you're not going to get the TV revenues. You're not going to get the fan support. They are not staying, and I don't know why anybody in Sacramento. I mean, they're fighting for their team. I don't know why, though. They're being so
because,
naive.
I mean, look at
They're
us.
being
We
naive.
fought for our
Yes,
team.
We
a
did.
lot of us fans, we didn't want to give up. I mean,
That's true.
That was crazy. To get your team stripped out from under you, you got no choice as a fan.
Exactly.
Because it's not in your power. So
I feel bad.
I feel
for that
bad for the
town.
city of Sacramento
Yes.
fans, especially since at least twice a week I'm getting blown up by a tweet or by an email saying, well, Big Low, how are you going to feel, if you steal our team? And it's like, I'm not involved. I don't have the freaking $20 billion these dudes do.
I've been asked that question.
I'm not taking your team.
I've been asked that question.
I sure am going to cheer for them. Woo!
Exactly.
Isaiah Thomas coming back to Seattle.
I've been asked that question too. How do you feel? You guys were mad when your team got stolen. I'm like, yeah, same way Kansas City felt when you guys jacked the Kings originally. Bang, quiet.
Oh, it's like my good buddy Christian Burgess, Jack Nut Apparel. He's got the new shirt that says,
Oh,
YOLO,
boy.
you only leave once. I love that.
I do too.
I mean, the fact that it's got my name in it. It's
It
got
works.
Little low and YOLO.
Little bit of free
But
pub.
You only leave once. That's a great shirt. Christian, you should have used the Sonics logo once again where the O and the O is. Who's going to come after you? Nobody. Especially Branton. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anyhow.
The man who shall not be mentioned.
Well, I think it's time to move on and do a little something different here. We got
Gino has something for
I
us.
wanted to talk about 4A state basketball because the tourney's going on right now in Tacoma. I guess there were some really good ball games this morning. I'm really bummed that I didn't get to see my buddy Perrion play ball for Bothell. It's one of the kids I coached back in the days, and he's just having a tremendous year. But unfortunately, Bothell got beat. So kind of bummed out about that. But there's still, a few games to be played to see who the state tourney champion is this weekend for 4A, and then next weekend the 3A tourney. So we'll talk about that more next week. Sounders opener on Saturday.
Yep.
Woo-hoo!
Sounders
It's
open on
about
Saturday.
time. I love the football off season is so long, but we got filler.
Yes, we do.
We got filler. I guess that's about it that, I want to talk about there. Alex Smith may be getting traded to Kansas City.
Yes, because 49er quarterbacks have worked out so well for the Chiefs. Steve DeBerg, Montana Gerbach.
Okay, onward we go. Zan, let's run that little footage of a crazy wreck that happened on Saturday. Let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Stock Car Scott, and we're going to talk a whole lot of NASCAR and local sports car racing. Here we go. So that's what it's like when you're sitting there in the stands. Wham! And a tire comes flying at you, an engine comes flying at you, and goes ripping through the fence. And then, the next couple days later, you have Stock Car Scott on the show. Welcome to the show, Stock Car Scott.
Howdy, howdy. Good to see you
God, I thought
again.
you'd get all jacked up for that one, man. I mean, come on now.
Excuse
The
me.
Water Boys never introduced you like that. They just said, oh, Scott Car Scott.
Well, they gave me a little lead-in music, too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, whatever. But first things first, one thing I did want to do while I was on your show is get an action figure sign here.
Oh, wow, you can even see through it, man. We gotta
Yeah,
love
you can see a little bit of it,
man.
but let me get you the right pin here.
Okay, we'll sign this after the show, Scott. So I'm going to put the cap back on. But
Okay.
wow.
But
a big old action
I
figure.
didn't get it right off the shelf. I got it from a collector.
Yeah, it looks like a collector, man. This thing's mangled, man. It looks like
eBay.
Well, I
mixed
wasn't
like
around for the first
a
edition.
Big Mac wrapper after you eat the burger.
I get
So,
it when
Scott,
it's good.
I've known you for a long time, man. Finally get you on the show. You've been a busy man. It's NASCAR season, baby. Are you jacked?
Very much so.
I mean, this
It
guy
is-
right here is the biggest Dale Jr. fan you will ever meet.
Well, maybe. I'm sure there's quite a few other ones.
I don't know, dude. You drove the damn car for. You still have it?
I still have it. It's out there in the parking
saw it
lot.
in the parking lot, yeah.
Lord.
Well,
That's
you
the
know,
Monte Carlo, right?
That's the 2004 Monte Carlo, one of, what is it, 2,883 Special
Wow.
Edition SS, Dale Jr. Special.
That's pretty awesome. I bet there's like maybe half that number now.
Well, there's probably a few of them that got wrecked, but there's a couple of them around here in the
I mean,
sound.
there's a lot of guys
I
that
see.
think they're Dale Jr. out there.
I like how
Well,
you just put that. There's
I don't
no
make that
female
mistake
wrecked.
when I'm doing my courier job and I'm telling people what to look for. You know, when I'm coming, I say, look for a red car with black stripes down the side of it that thinks it's a race car.
Okay, let's start with the Nationwide Series on Saturday. Big wreck. You know, I was baffled by that because I left when there was like 12 laps left and they had a wreck. And I'm thinking to myself, oh man, I can't stay because I got to practice for the big show tonight. So I had to leave, and then I missed the like big old wreck.
Well, there was a big wreck with about 6 to go that was set off when somebody put Austin Dillon in the wall.
Okay, that's the one I saw. That's
Yeah,
where
and
that's
they,
where I had
they
to leave.
red flagged the race there for a little bit so they could get those last laps in. NASCAR's real nice when there's a wreck close to the end of the race. They'll try their best to get green flag racing in.
Right.
So they went ahead and stopped the race, cleaned up the track, lined them up again. And boy, howdy, they had a wreck like they hadn't had in a long time. You know, this one, because as you saw in the clip, the car, the number 32 car of Kyle Larson's, hit in the air on the section of the fence that's made to open up so fans can go over to the pits before and after
Wow.
the race. Now, after that wreck, when they repaired the catch fence, they just left that out. They just didn't put that back in there, and of course, people had to find another way to get to the pits the morning of the
They
Daytona
do the
500.
Tony Stewart and go climbing over the fence?
He's drank a few too many Coca-Colas to do fence climbing anymore. but
Oh, smoke.
yeah. And the nice thing is Smoke won the race. If y'all don't know, Tony Stewart nickname is Smoke, and that's because he used to burn up so many cars when he was young. But
I thought there was another reason.
he no, they have drug testing in NASCAR, real drug testing.
Really? Unlike
Yes.
the NFL and NHL and NBA.
Oh yeah,
and
there was
MLB.
there's been
every
people that's
sport.
gotten suspended here
There
just in the
was.
past year. In fact, a guy got suspended yesterday for something that just came out of his mouth. So you got to watch what you say in NASCAR. He, from what I'm understanding, he said something that might not have been real favorable about Danica, and seeing as how Danica is bringing a lot of new fans to
Kind of like that
the
dork that
sport.
said, you know, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen, start your gentlemen and Danica.
Yep.
Well,
and
actually-
Did you find that
No, it was
disrespectful?
drivers in Danica. Well, if he said drivers,
So
he's
does that mean
already
she's
included
not a driver?
her.
Yeah, she's
He's
included,
already
yeah.
included her, right? So
yeah.
actually, what he should have done was there was these radio guys years ago in the South, John Boy and Billy, I do believe, and they got to do the start your engines thing, and they went ahead of time and talked to one of the drivers that they were going to single out.
Wow.
So they said, "Gentlemen and Jimmy Spencer,
Wow.
start your engines," and everybody got a big laugh out of it.
Well,
because,
yeah, I mean,
you know, Jimmy Spencer
for a
was
guy
in
it's
on the
different,
job.
but this is a
Exactly.
woman that's like, she's becoming the face of the women in sports, and I think she did a hell of a job earning the pole for the dang thing.
Oh yeah,
You know,
and
that
when
was
you
impressive.
think about it, now she did run the Daytona 500 last year, but it wasn't really considered her rookie season. You get to run 7 to 10 races before you lose your rookie status. So she's a full rookie this year, and she is not the first rookie to ever win the first starting position at the Daytona 500. There was a guy about 19 years ago.
Well, that's a guy.
Well, the thing
talking
is,
women.
well, just
Exactly.
let me make my point though. This fellow about 19 years ago by the name of Loy Allen Jr. that started on the pole. He finished the 500 22nd.
He
and
said
then,
started on the pole.
And then a couple of years later in '97, I know y'all like that one. I was just trying to avoid it, but it just slips out. Anyway,
Slipped out.
thank you. So
Hey, we gotta have fun, man.
2 years later, a fellow named Mike Skinner also started in the first starting position on the front row, and he was a rookie, and he only finished, let me see here in my notes, 12th in his first Daytona 500. Jimmy Johnson, the great Jimmy Johnson, 5-time NASCAR champion. Don't cry there, Lois.
Oh, but I
But
cracked myself up.
in his first Daytona 500, he started in the first starting position, and he only ended up 15th. Danica did the same thing, and she ended up 8th.
Is she going to win a
Last.
race this year? Do you think she'll win a race this year, actually?
Well,
I
she
sure
didn't
hope she
win
does
it,
because she should have had this one.
Exactly.
She was in third place going in that.
and she should have cut down in front of Junior, and she might have had a chance. I mean, that was it. She even said it herself at the end of the race, a little bit hesitant about what's going on right now, but as I do this more, I'll get better at it. But what I should have done was cut down in front of Junior, but she saw what happened the day before, they set off some big wrecks there, and you got the drivers, of course, don't really think about what's going to go on in the stands. They've got that fence there, and they don't really. It isn't part of what they think about. They know that it's dangerous what they're doing.
Right.
But the fans, it's like somebody went to a hockey game and got hit with a hockey puck in the side of the
Brienne
that's
temple,
happened.
in the
That's happened
temple
many
and
times.
died. I've
well,
heard
dying, I think's only happened twice.
yeah, but
Brienne
I
Cecil
remember
in
years
Columbus got hit
ago.
with a puck. That's why they have the nets now.
Yeah,
They call them the Cecil nets because basically she was it was her 11th birthday or something. Somebody took a slap shot, flew in the stands. She died of a brain
Very
hemorrhage a
sad.
couple days later.
Yeah,
Tragic.
but it's not. You going to be entertained.
Yeah.
You're not thinking.
You're not thinking
that
about that, yeah.
something like that could happen.
Exactly.
And I remember, in '98 when I went to Talladega, it's that same kind of big track, and it was wild. There was a wreck that Ward Burton set off with Dale Earnhardt, and it also took out Bill from Dawsonville, Elliott.
Oh.
And I was sitting as close as those people were the other day. And when Earnhardt's car hit head on right down below me, it sounded like a cannon had gone
That's
off.
gotta be crazy,
and
man.
flames shot out everywhere from Bill Elliott's Taurus. And it, as the Intimidator went skidding by on the side of his Monte Carlo, the flames burn off his mustache.
Wow.
So racing is
Yeah, that was
and you
when they
go-
were unprotected,
Right,
racing
he had the
was,
open face helmet, and
Wow.
I'm sitting there watching it, and the catch fence starts shaking in front of me, and I can remember saying to myself, if this is it, I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm going to see everything that's coming. And I can still, it's one of the most vivid, intense memories of my whole life.
Right.
You know, even though it only lasted for just microseconds.
Is there any way they can make it safer? I mean, I don't think.
Well, yeah, they probably
Really?
could take out like a couple of dozen of the front row seats, just put like a moat there, or maybe a big grass berm or something. If you go to some of the local tracks, you'll see that they just have areas where people can't go.
Wow.
And I've always thought that that's, you know, one of the ways that they need to do it is just take out some of those seats. Otherwise, they're going to have to either slow down the cars or redesign the track where it doesn't have the 33-degree banking.
Right. Well, we got about 2 minutes left, and I know you want to touch on local racing.
Local racing will start right after Easter.
Okay.
There's like there's 4 more NASCAR races until Easter, and 3 of them are out here on the West Coast.
Nice.
This weekend is Phoenix. Next weekend is Las Vegas. Then they go back to Bristol. Get up early and watch Bristol. Bristol's good. And then California after that. 3 chances, folks. Y'all can go see racing here on the West Coast. Also, after Easter, there's lots of local racing. We've got Monroe has Evergreen Speedway, and they have lots of classes that run up there. The first big race of the year, the Mark Galloway 150 is run there on April 6th, and they're expecting over 30 cars right now. And of course, I'll be cheering for my favorite local driver, Gary Lewis, and the number 73.
Jerry Lewis is a race car driver?
Gary Lewis. You know, this diamond ring doesn't shine for me anymore. That's Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
The Playboys.
That's his pit crew,
classic.
the Playboys. But there's that race. There's racing down in
Spanaway, isn't there? Is there still
well, no,
Spanaway
Spanaway's
Speedway?
gone.
Is it
Spanaway
really?
is gone. It does not exist
Am
anymore.
I that out of touch with locals?
There's a racetrack down in Tenino called South Sound that has
Okay, yeah.
really, really good racing. And then coming up the first full week of April out in Yakima, they have, not to confuse the football fans, but they have what's called the Apple Cup, where people come from all over Washington to race in a couple of different big divisions.
Nice.
There's racing all over the place, folks. You can,
Well, it's not going to be the last time you're on the show. I want to
Exactly.
come to you and say, dude, we want you like every couple weeks to come in if you can.
well, if that's okay,
you know,
I'd love to
let's
come
get
in.
the race car fans, you know, tuned in and dialed in, because that's what it's about, man.
Sure.
I'd
And
like to
there's
say
lots
that
of-
one tagline, let's go racing, folks. But you know,
And lots of
copyright.
local racing, a lot more than I realized when I moved.
Got any
up
racers
here.
you can bring on the show with us?
You know, there are a couple of really nice people that I will ask them once the season gets started. There's one girl up in Monroe by the name of Molly Helmet. Y'all look her up, folks. She is up and coming. There's another girl down in.
Is she cute? Usually it helps to be a cute girl racer.
Yeah, she. You know, you don't have to turn your head in disgust when you see her. I mean, I just don't like to linger too long because she's 17 years old and I'm 56,
shoot.
and that's kind of weird.
Forget that one.
You know. So, and there's another girl down in Olympia that races down at South Sound. Her name's Jessica Dana, and she'll be racing up at Monroe this year too.
Nice.
So you got to race at Monroe in order to get NASCAR points. It's the only NASCAR sanctioned track.
Here's the deal: you get us a racer, we'll plug them. We'll be their fans. How about
Heck
we be your
yeah.
official fan club?
All right, well, it's that time. The time is the end of the show time. The thank yous time. Scott, I appreciate you coming in. First off, man, thank you very much. And like I said, we'll get you back in here real soon.
Appreciate you having me.
I'd like to say thank you very much to the viewers out there. Shane Topol at Bleachers Pub in Greenwood. Christian Noah and at Jack Nut Apparel. I love your shirts, buddy. They're the best. The best. Top quality over anybody. Anybody. JackNutApparel.com. Charlie and Alex at Shocking Goat. ShockingGoat.com if you want a really cool watch. These guys are the guys to see. Ty at Homer's Apparel. Jeremy Bryant at Rain City Catering. Starting to cook for the Mariners. That's my buddy Jeremy. Oh, Rod, Scotty, and Cody at Derm Effects Tattoo. The tats are healing nicely, Scotty. Woo! Chantel, It's about time I get some work done from you, isn't it? Dermafix Tattoo in Auburn. Zan Corinne in the control room. I love you guys. Thanks for everything. ASI Global Media for letting me do this. And holy smokes, this is Big Low reminding you all to have a sports fantastic weekend. Woohoo! See you next week.